Hey everyone, I'm April Merritt with Elios Digital Organizing. I am the digital clutter buster for overwhelmed businesswomen. And today I wanted to talk to you about purging. Now, purging is often considered the second step in any organizing project. In a previous video, we had talked about sorting, which is laying out your stuff and figuring out exactly what you have. Purging is what comes next. And this is the stage that people like to think about as the getting rid of things stage. And that fear that they're going to have to get rid of everything is a lot of times what stops people from moving forward with their organizing project. Now, the reality is the garbage bags full of stuff, the boxes full of paper, that doesn't have to be what the purging stage is. Think about what your goal is. Are you just organizing what you have? Are you decluttering just a little bit? Or are you downsizing or minimizing? All of those questions will make a difference in terms of what you purge. Now, when it comes time to purge your belongings, there are a lot of different guidelines out there. And some of them are extremely helpful, like records retention guidelines. These are the list of things to keep and toss when it comes to your paperwork. They can be helpful in terms of helping to figure out what the IRS wants you to keep, what's good to keep as vital records, and those sorts of things. But other or purging guidelines can be a little bit more vague. Things like toss it if you haven't worn it in 6 months. Well, what if you live in a climate where you only wear some things 2 months out of the year? Well, that's not quite as accurate. Get rid of it if it's a duplicate. But what if you're like Steve Jobs, who wears the same black turtleneck every single day? Okay, obviously he had a lot of duplicates and he didn't want to get rid of them. Also think about the amount of space you have. I have a client who keeps her conference paperwork. She has plenty of space to do so, but if space were limited, that would be one of the first things that we would toss. So when you set up your purging guidelines, it's really a good idea to maybe write them down so you have them to keep you on track as you go through your organizing project. Now, what do I recommend for purging your belongings? I think you should go for the easy answers first, okay? As you're going through the sorting process, obviously get rid of the things that no longer work or the things that are broken. And I hear a lot of people say, oh, I'm going to fix that someday. Well, if you were going to fix that someday would have already come to pass. So get rid of the things that no longer work. And then when it comes time to purge, go through and find the low-hanging fruit, okay? The stuff that you know you don't want to keep. You can usually figure out what that is. Once you've gotten rid of the stuff that you know you no longer want to keep, then go through and find the things that spark joy. These are the things that make you happy, the things that you know you want to keep. I've got a green sweater that I just absolutely adore. And when it comes time to purge my closet, you better believe that green sweater is the first thing that gets pulled out into the keep pile. Once you've pulled out the things that you know you don't want, the things that you know you want to keep, then it comes time for things that you're not quite sure about. And this is where I recommend that you don't get caught up in the details, okay? It can be very easy to spend 20 or 30 minutes justifying a pair of jeans, when the reality is, this shouldn't take you more than a couple minutes to decide on each item, okay? The worst thing that you can do, keep it, and you can always purge it on the next round. That's okay. One of the more important things to think about when purging, don't purge somebody else's items, okay? When my husband and I moved in together, I purged half of his closet for him. I still hear about it today because it wasn't a nice thing to do. So only purge your own belongings. Now, hopefully this has given you some direction or some guidance when it comes time for that second step of organizing, the purging step. As always, please feel free to reach out if you have any questions. I hope this video has been helpful to you in learning some of the basics of organizing, and I look forward to seeing you soon in another video.